What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on Avengers Endgame, technically an Avengers Doomsday. Might as well call me Marvel always, as I have been covering Avengers Doomsday quite a lot. So in today's video, we're going to go over a report that they are essentially going to have a new ending for Endgame stroke the start of Doomsday. And also, there is some evidence to suggest, yes, the trailer is coming, but not until next week. So, yo, what is good, YouTube? Warstu here. If you are new around, and make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, Kaiju, Monsterverse, pop culture-based content I try to deliver on a daily basis. If you could, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and let me know how hyped are you for said trailer. Also, check us out on Instagram, at Warstu, to see the beautiful face behind the big voice. Check us out on Twitter, WarstuG. Check us out on TikTok, Warstu. Right, let's get into it. So, a Korean media rating board has classified the trailer. Now, although this is being translated by Google Translate, I do think part of this is a bit suspicious. But it does have the runtime on, which adds validity. So, apparently, the first trailer for Avengers Doomsday has been listed on a Korean media rating board. It is 1 minute and 25 seconds long. But when it says cast, it says Robert Downey Jr., Pedro Pascal. Why are they putting Pascal's name there when apparently Chris Hemsworth is the second lead? Walt Disney Company, Korea LLC, looks legit. So there is a trailer coming out. So the most recent information about said trailer suggests that the trailer will be coming out sometime next week, meaning it will come out on Wednesday the 17th, which is kind of weird because it was supposed to come out on the 7th, then it was supposed to come out on the 11th, then it was supposed to come out on the 17th, it was supposed to release with Avatar, Fire and Ash. So the actual official release date for Avatar, Fire and Ash is actually Friday, the 19th. Advanced previews will start Wednesday and Thursday, and technically, because places like Australia are 24 hours ahead, said trailer, if it's going to be attached to Avatar, would already be out there. But it's unclear if this is the trailer that is going to be in the cinema, or is this a trailer that's dropping online. I'm beginning to not believe any kind of scoop up, because it was the 7th, then it was 11th, now it's the 17th. Now it's the 10th of January. Now, I do believe there is a trailer. This Korean classification does make it look like there is a trailer. But this is why I always say, don't trust these so-called scoopers. Why? Because none of them got their date right. How has it jumped from the 7th to the 17th? Make it make sense. So, also in the news, the main narrative of today's video is Avengers Endgame's being re-released. Why? Because essentially they're going to retcon everything and they're going to make the whole narrative, or a good part of it, is the reason why the multiverse is going to be destroyed by Doom is because when Steve Rogers went back to return the stones, he lived with Peggy Carter, and that's going to cause everything, right? So that comes out September next year. I don't believe they're going to add much new footage, but they could add a post-credit scene where Doom appears, and essentially this will be the first scene of Avengers Doomsday. So you could say the opening scene in Avengers Doomsday shows Steve Rogers and Peggy. It's the same house we saw at Endgame, at the end of Endgame. Also, we've seen this house in the UK that had a code name Luke Cage. The claims it's a direct sequel, it's quite literally that, as it takes off where it ended with the same scene. So the reason why they want you to rewatch Endgame is they may attach some new scenes to it, potentially. If you actually look into it, now I can't confirm or verify this, but allegedly they filmed over 800 hours, and the movie was only 3.5. Now, I don't believe this. So, Steve from the MCU goes back in time, puts the stones back, goes to live with Peggy, then goes through the events of Doomsday. Interesting. And somehow goes back to finish his life with Peggy, gets old, and then goes back to the MCU verse, which, I mean, there's some continuity here, right? because he gave the shield to Sam, says nothing about what happens in Doomsday. So Steve, time travel, he's done the, in theory, you could say he's done the Secret Wars event. So he goes back in time, puts the stones back, goes live with Peggy, then goes through the events of Doomsday and potentially the events of Secret Wars, wins, somehow goes back to finish his life with Peggy, gets old, then goes back to the MCU verse, which kind of does, but this is what they're going to have to try and portray to you. Then gives the shield back to Sam, says nothing about Doomsday and Secret Wars, because in theory, if he time traveled and did all this stuff, that is why there was supposed to be a Nomad TV show where we were going to see his adventures of what actually happened when he traveled back in time to obviously put the stones back. Pretty darn interesting. I don't think they're going to retcon the whole of Phase 4, though. So apparently they have no hope. They have no faith in Marvel. Marvel has no faith in their own product. So because they're making the main incursion being whatever Steve did that caused Doom to lose his family, Sue and Franklin, that's why he wants to create a new world, a.k.a. Battle World, a.k.a. Secret Wars movie, so he can have his world that he dominates and becomes God Emperor Doom, and he has Sue Storm and Franklin Richards. I mean, it is cute, but it does prove to me, and a lot of other people, that no one knows what the freaking hell they're on about. Because yes, this information about Steve becoming the cataclysmic event that caused everything to happen has always been out there, but it wasn't the main reason why Doom wanted revenge. Now, the likes of Alex Perez and co did say that he's got a vendetta against the multiverse. I mean, that information's been out there for such a long time, so it's always worth trying to vet these scoopers, because it's like with this information coming out about Steve essentially being the villain of the movie. It blows my mind. It's like you're getting articles now saying, Robert Downey Jr., we're officially playing Victor Von Doom, and he's not a variant of Tony Stark in Avengers Doomsday. But people are trying to state it's the other way round, that Iron Man, Tony Stark's the actual variation of Victor Von Doom. 616 Tony was a variant of Doom, not the other way round. This doesn't really change much, but this is far from the movie that the Kang Dynasty was going to be. It's interesting, and I don't know if people are going to like it. It's a cool way to bring it back, because Bruce Banner did say, yo, Steve, don't mess it up. It's interesting. Marvel saw RDJ holding the Doom mask and said, yeah, just rename the whole comic book after him. Infamous Iron Man gone. Now it's officially been renamed Rise of Doom. Interesting. Now you can find this on the internet. Piece that I found. So this way round, they don't have to tarnish or touch the legacy that was Iron Man. And if they do this correctly, because Tony Stark was a variant of Doom and not the other way around, they don't have to tarnish his whole I am Iron Man death and the whole reasoning why RDJ is the only person who can play Doctor Doom. Is it really for he looks the same, he's got the same face, the whole manipulation of the Avengers? Is that really how they're going to play it? I don't know how I feel about this. Because you got to understand, Doom and Chris Evans' Captain America were not actually in the Kang's Dynasty. So they have really switched up this movie insanely, which is interesting if you ask me. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at Warstu. Check us out on Twitter, WarstuG. Check us out on TikTok, WWarstu. And I will catch ya in another video very soon. Catch ya later.